We're going to be talking about how one of our clients got to $10,000 a month and how I gave her a strategy to get her to $20,000 a month. Now, Meaghan, and I met up with her in Calgary, this was just 2 weeks ago. I've done a case study with her, so if you scroll down on our YouTube, you're going to see how we helped her go from just kind of basically starting her business to having her first $10,000 and $12,000 and $14,000 a month. So if you want to check out the case study, it's on our YouTube. You can just comment down below the word Meaghan, and I'll send it over to you. But we met up in person because great, we helped her get to $10,000 a month. But what is the strategy to get to 20K months? A lot of people, they make this assumption that is not correct. They think, oh, what got me to 10K months? I'm just gonna double things to get to 20K months. And we've seen again and again and again that that's actually not what you should be doing to get to 20K months. So I'm gonna be walking you through the strategies that I walked her through. Basically, we met up in person. I drew out a lot of stuff on paper because that's what I do. And I'm going to talk you through what are the key differences between an online health or fitness coach who makes $10,000 a month versus those who make $20,000 a month, so that you can start thinking through things the right way. So the first thing that you need to understand is that what got you here, right, to 10K months is not necessarily what's going to get you to 20K months. A lot of people get to 10K months. Basically, to get to 10K months, you just gotta take a lot of messy action, right? You need to set up a mini ad, you need to get 20 to 30 followers per day, you need to send out a bunch of DMs, you gotta post content, you gotta have sales calls, you gotta close clients, and it needs to be a higher ticket package, right? So beforehand, I think she was selling something between like a $2,000 offer at this point. So 10K months is a lot about just like getting in the weeds, putting in the work, and just going for it, okay? Now, here's the truth. Basically, in a lot of ways, getting to 10K months is hard work, okay? Now, it's kind of like the classic, but to get to 20K months, this is where we need to talk about smart work, okay? Because a lot of people, it's kind of like they think that, hey, I'm just going to, like if I sent out 30 messages a day, I'm gonna send out 60 messages a day. Or if I spend $10 a day on ads, I'm gonna spend $20 a day on ads. But that's not necessarily the truth. Let me walk you through, and it's honestly, it's kind of simple, but a lot of people don't think through it properly, and therefore they miss out how to get to 20K months. The first thing that we did is, guess what? We raised the prices, okay? So we raised her prices. This is one of the simplest things. Let's say, for example, you're getting 4 clients a month, and you charge $2,000 for it. Great, you can get $8,000 a month, let's say, of clients. But if you just moved it from $2,000 to $3,000, you automatically jump from $8,000 to $12,000. Or if you were getting 5 clients a month, that's the difference between $10,000 a month and $15,000 a month. So the first thing that we do is just simply raise the prices. Now, this does come with a couple different things. You do need to get a little bit better at sales usually. But honestly, most people who, like, let's say your program's $1,500. Raising it to $1,997, your close rate's gonna be basically the same. Or if you're selling a $2,400 product, raising it to $2,800 is basically gonna be the same close rate. So that's the first thing that we do with a lot of people is we raise their prices. Now, the second thing we do is because once you get to 10K months, you actually are starting to work with clients, which is fantastic, but it takes a lot of time. So the second thing that we did with Meaghan is we started to leverage out her delivery. I'm bending over here all awkward. So leveraged out her delivery, okay? What does this mean? This means that she's not doing quite as much one-on-one work with her clients. So we're just lessening a little bit of the time spent per client so that she can take on more clients at a higher price point to hit a higher level of income. Okay, so that's the second thing we did. Now, this is a lot of you are like, wait, I thought I had to work harder to get to 20K months. This is what I'm talking about, where it's just like raising your prices and making it so that, like, let's say you spend 4 hours a month per client, right? Every client that you have, maybe you're spending 4 hours a month, like an hour a week on them. If you even reduce that by 15 minutes, so you got an extra hour back, what that's going to do is once you're at 10 clients, that means that you get 10 hours back a month, which means you could probably take on another 5, 6, 7 clients and you wouldn't feel like you're burning out. So it opens up your capacity. Then the third and final thing is, I asked Meaghan when we met up in person, I was like, hey, how many new followers is she getting per day? And she was getting about 60 new followers per day, which at 60 new followers per day, her thought process was, oh, I need to spend more money on ads, right? I need to spend more money to get more clients. But she was already getting enough leads. She basically just needed to have more skills in the conversion process. Because whenever we're building a business, we're thinking about, should we just add more volume to things, or should we just get more skillful and get better at converting, right? Because like, let's say you have 100 leads a day and you're making 10 grand a month. A lot of people think, oh, if I get 200 leads a day, I'll get to 20K months. And that could be true. But the smarter coaches, they think through, if I'm getting 100 leads per day and I'm at 10K months, if I just got better at my content or my conversation skills and I booked twice the amount of calls, or maybe even just like 50% more calls, but also my close rate goes up a little bit because I'm more skillful, I will just get to 20K months, but I won't even need more leads. And we can also talk about like getting better referrals or more retention. All of those things make it so that you don't necessarily always have to focus on the volume. So it's just basically increasing skills. And we see this happening again and again. All of our clients that we help go from like 10K a month to like 20K a month, even up to $50,000 a month. A lot of them are raising their prices, leveraging out their delivery. They're getting way better at their skills. And yes, sometimes we do need to increase volume. I'm not saying that we don't, but so many people use it as a crutch, right? They are always like, oh, I just need more volume, need more volume, need more volume, when they just need to be more skillful, okay? So if you're at $10,000 a month and you're needing help with, raising your prices, you shouldn't need help with that. Just go raise your prices on the next call. But if you need help with understanding how to leverage out your delivery to buy yourself some more time back, if you need help with getting better at the skill set of conversion, this is where a lot of you, basically, if you were just 25% better in your content, 25% better in the DMs, 10% better, let's say, on sales calls, that would, and let's say an extra 10% on retention, that could right there double your business. That could radically change things. But you're just caught up in like, I need more leads. So if you need help with this, you can comment down below. If you want to see Meaghan's case study when I interview her, where she talks about how she was able to grow her business, you can go ahead and comment down below her name, Meaghan, and we'll send it your way. And we'll see you folks in the next